What it is, what it is. What it is
What's
and what
up,
it
man?
isn't. What it is and what it isn't.
Good afternoon or evening.
Is that James Brown?
Right?
It is.
James Brown.
It is.
Right,
It is.
right.
It's from the Book of Brown.
Right. Oh,
Book
yeah.
of Brown,
Yeah.
chapter 1, verse 1, where it says what it is and what it is.
Right. People don't know what that
Hey,
is.
Glenn, I can't see you. That's really good. I don't have to look at you.
Oh, you're funny. You're funny. My beauty shines through even in the dark, so I'm not worried about
Well, look, the last time I was with you, I couldn't see you because I had lost my damn glasses.
that. Basically, yeah, that was your fault.
Yeah, never found them either.
You never found them?
Nope. I did realize where I thought I left them. And then when I called back, it had been some days. So they were like, nope, we ain't got them.
Did you check the pawn shop around the corner?
Did I check the pawn shop? I was in Batavia, so I wasn't getting ready to go all the way back out there. I was going to ask them. Look, I was going to ask them to send them to me anyway.
I was all set to drive you home when I couldn't get nothing from the pawn shop for them.
Man, look, what was so funny is I found that pair of sunglasses in the glove box, and they had the gradient. So I had to drive home all the way like this, looking through the bottom part of the. And I'm gonna tell you, man, the street lights are not abundant out there. So I do not think that I would have been able to drive that almost 90 minutes back home, without any glass. Huh? No, it wasn't. But no, I was in Batavia, but they don't really have a lot of.
Yeah. They don't have them. Yeah.
Dude, I'm like, oh my God.
That's true, TJ.
Right. Yeah, she probably got reading glasses though. I needed some long. I can see up close. I can't see far away. How y'all doing, man? How's your week been? It's actually been 3 weeks since we've seen each other because we weren't on. Since we've seen each other in this format. So because we weren't on last week. Yeah. I kind of missed y'all too, even though I got a chance to see Glenn at the nuptials of our dear friend Martha Chavez.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Congratulations, Martha. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats. I am still, man, I took so many pictures. I am still working on them.
Are you really?
I'm finally in the reception pictures, right? I haven't got to the reception pictures.
That's funny. I keep shifting because I'm trying to find better.
Move back. Yeah, move back.
Or just jump out that window behind you.
Move back on the other side of the door and then close it.
Right.
Y'all want the ratings because they don't want me on. Hey, Sean, we got an announcement. You should make the announcement. Season 2.
You know the details better than me. What is our broadcast date? April 24th? Is that what it is?
So April 6th.
April 6th. See?
Yes, season 2 of the Morning Roast is coming to you on WGN, and we're not going to be at 4:30 in the morning this time, guys. We are going to be at 6 a.m. Decent time. Some of you are awake already. Some of you wake up to pray.
It's going to be like 12 more people going to be awake.
Some of y'all waking up to pray. Some of y'all waking up to go back home.
Where go back home. That's what I was about to say. Some of y'all taking that walk of shame around that time.
Shame. That's what it is. A walk of shame.
Grab your keys. Don't let your panties hit the street floor.
Hey, some of y'all just getting in from the club.
You know who you are. We ain't gonna call you out today.
Ain't even gonna change clothes before you go to church.
Yeah,
we know how you get out.
We're not gonna call you out today.
Do the bird bath. Do the bird bath.
Do the bird bath.
Robert, hit them hot spots at least.
Hey, as high as possible, as low as possible, and don't forget possible.
Bam. You know the 3. You know the 3 spots.
That was good, Rob. High as possible, low as possible, and don't forget possible.
Well, it ain't no longer possible if you're leaving there.
Right,
it's a done deal.
Right. Don't go up in the joint smelling like hot onion.
Not onions. Ooh.
I'm gonna be like Mel and take myself out in a minute.
Hot radishes. Don't do that. But yeah, man, I missed y'all, man. Good to see y'all. I hope that
what up, Eric?
In the time that we've been away, good things have happened for you all. Glenn, what is going on with you?
Looking like Max Headroom over there.
No, you look like you pop locking.
Yeah.
I'm not pop locking, guys. I'm good.
Stay put. Don't move.
Hey man,
move.
before I jump into anything, anybody got anything else they want to announce besides the fact that season 2 at a new time is coming? Anybody got
Season
anything?
2 is going to be phenomenal. Share it. You're going to love the show. You're going to love the set. The new time. We took that channel from 800 Nielsen views to over 30,000. Over 100,000 total views that they've never had before. So that 6 o'clock spot, I expect us to blow that past 250,000 with no problem.
Hey,
let's do
and
it.
you know,
you guys did a great job. Great job.
And we owe that all to our audience. So we thank you all for supporting and rocking with us.
Yes.
All this time. So continue to tell your friends, your boyfriends, girlfriends, everybody. You know.
Yeah. And we need to recommit to our own promotion as well, so that we can take advantage of all of our social networks. And you know, I have a lot of my friends that support, as I'm sure you guys do as well. And so thank you all.
I don't have any friends.
That is true.
For the people you know.
We agree. You don't have friends.
If you're on here now, share it.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I need to do that right now.
Yeah, I just realized I'm usually on the backside sharing. I'm like, man, what's going on with the numbers? Like, I didn't share it myself.
I hadn't even done that. So.
But didn't I share in this link, Roger?
Yeah. Share the link. Yeah, share it to your page. I mean, I'm hitting like 15 different groups. So
okay.
Yeah, but I'm sharing to my Facebook page.
But let's get some topics. I'm gonna get started. I want to see what's going on.
Come on,
I'm not here often, so take full advantage of all this wisdom and these facts that I'm going to bring.
I can't connect.
Well,
I forgot. Okay, well, I won't be able to stream to my page. Somebody share to my page if y'all got it. I forgot that I changed my Facebook password and stream.
You forgot?
Yeah.
You forgot something? Sean forgot something. Go
whatever. Hey man, before I come out guns a blazing, I want to ask you about this topic that I saw, and I actually, in Mel's absence, I actually have 1 or 2 topics from Mel, but this thing I came across, and let's see, Robert, you have a little bit of experience that you could share with this, and so do you, Roger, and Glenn in a non-linear way. But I saw a young man saying that he felt like, especially by teenage years, if you are in a situation where you are co-parenting a male child, that male child needs to be reared by his father.
Yep.
And he was 100% committed to that idea. And I'm sure that is with the understanding that the dad is a productive, member of society and doing things the right way. But do you guys, and I'm going to ask, Roger, you only have a daughter, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you first.
But me and my it's just my brother and I with my dad. If that's any.
Yeah. And I know Robert has at least one son. I don't know if he has a grandson as well, but I know he has grandchildren. But
yeah, I have grandboys. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Roger, what do you think about that? I mean, I stand on the outside because I do have the, not to be offensive if it would be experienced that way, I do have the good fortune that my parents were together, throughout my childhood, and they were together until my mom died in 91. But what do you think about that?
A father being.
Remember, it's a co-parenting situation. So
co-parenting situation, and should he be involved in raising the child?
No, he should be 100% the primary parent for a boy child.
Yes, all things being equal. I hate we always put these equalizers on everything from parents to police to teachers to whatever. But let's just assume both of them are great, beautiful parents, and they just didn't work out. Yes, there's definitely an advantage to him being raised by his father. The formative years specifically are things that his mother will not be able to teach him, and there are things that he won't be able to observe intrinsically that if he's just watching his father and how he operates and how he moves, handles business, handles relationships, handles his household, those are things that he will not observe that my brother and I did observe with my father. And so, yeah, there's some things she can teach, and it's not taking anything against somebody that is just happen to be a single parent, but we're not talking about that.
Right, exactly.
So yes, I do think that it should start with the dad as much as possible, and maybe mom gets him on weekends. I know that's going to hit hard, but I think that's the reality.
I don't think it would hit so hard if we were talking about daughters and it was reversed.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it does. I had a conversation with my dad. Now my parents are a little bit up there, so I check on them less than I used to. I was up to hitting out there 3 times a week. But I told my dad, I was like, listen, you have to understand, everything I'm doing for you, I'm doing because I watched what you did for your father.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But when I'm out here checking on you, checking on the bills, checking on whatever it is, I'm doing that because I witnessed you take care of your dad.
Absolutely.
And so, and it also means he's a little bit more receptive to me, when I'm like, hey, Dad, let's throw all the stuff on automatic payments. Let's he's 80. I'm like, let's do this so you don't have to worry about it. Or call me when you're in the yard and stuff. Stop trying to move, chop down trees in the backyard and stuff.
Yeah.
But all those things came because my dad rarely told us to do stuff. It was just observing him being a great dad.
Yeah. Because the impact of the dad, I don't think can be questioned, even though people try to question it. But when it's a 2-parent household, then you don't have to prioritize that way because he's present in the household. Right. At least should be. I mean, it might be different. How he's experienced might be different, but he's still present in the household. I think it's significant if daddy coming and going, and that's all you see him do is coming and going because he working and making money for the family. It still has an impact. You know what I'm saying? My father worked afternoons, so I primarily saw him. He waited at home till I got home from school so he could leave to go to work. And then I'm in bed by the time he gets home at 12:30. So I really saw him primarily on the weekends, but I understood why, and I understood that he was working. Robert, what would you say about that?
I'd echo what Roger said. My dad worked 2 full-time jobs.
Yeah.
So, he came home to, eat a meal, that my mom would prepare. Mm-hmm. But after that, my dad was going back to his second job, at night. And like you, Sean, he didn't get home from that job until, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. And he would bring us food,
mm-hmm.
So we were always excited to see him because there might be some ribs or some burgers or something that was smelling up the house. Yeah. But one of the things that my dad did when, because I played league ball, and so my dad couldn't necessarily, be there for those things. So my mom would do that. But, I was a bowling back in the day champion. And my dad worked at a bowling alley, mm-hmm. at the bowling alley. So I got a chance to spend time with my dad. But the question that you asked mm-hmm. is around, should
parenting situation when both parents aren't in the same household.
Yeah. So I think there's some validity to that. I think there's some strength in that. And for people who don't have it that way, if they have uncles that can help out in those situations, you've got to use the uncles to help out as well. But mm-hmm. I strongly believe that there's some value in having me take care of my son Brian,
mm-hmm.
All the years that mm-hmm. that he was growing up.
Yeah, I think and I'm going to catch some flack for saying this. I think a woman, we've seen it over and over. Women are amazing. They're incredible. They're gifted in ways that we aren't gifted. So we're clear that a woman can raise a boy child. But I also think that a boy needs to see a man to be able to emulate a man. He needs to be able to see he also needs to be able to see the hell that a man catches just because he's a man. He needs to see all of that. And the way that he does that is by being in the presence of a man, especially a man that is fathering him or mentoring him or, caring for him. So Glenn, what are your thoughts, man?
Well,
in his disappearing, Yeah,
But-
he
just
but-
talked
so
about-
much didn't want to answer the question. He
You
just
know what? Very timely there.
yeah.
But
Well,
you know,
let
let me say something about that before Glenn comes back
Mhm.
in. But I think that my son didn't necessarily see the struggles that I went through as I was coming up in corporate America,
Mhm.
you know, et cetera, because I didn't want him to see that, you know, I was being you know, beat up in corporate America by, you know, other races
System,
because of because of the color of my skin
Mhm.
or something like that. He didn't see that. Those are things that I talked about with my dad,
Yeah,
right? You know, some of the struggles that I was having with, you know, the corporate jobs and people treating me a certain way. My son didn't necessarily see that. All
Yeah.
my son saw was that I was going to work, you know, every day and bringing home the money and making sure that the lights were on.
yeah. It's funny that you would say that too, because there's a commercial that I hear every morning when I'm getting ready to go to work, and I can't think of what the commercial is for. But the guy's basically saying that he never saw his dad, you know, struggle or have a hard time with anything, and that he parented very different. He wanted his children to see him struggle because he wanted them to also see him overcome the struggle. And I think that is poignant as well. I think that one of the reasons
There's
they
some
need
value
to
there.
see that, they need to see that everything doesn't go smoothly. Everything you don't win every battle. And so you also need to see how your dad responds to his defeats and how he picks himself back up. And Glenn, before you come in, Roger doesn't seem to like that idea. So I want
No, it's not that I don't like it. It's
Mhm.
and my brother and I were talking. It's really weird. We never saw our dad. In hindsight, we know now things that he was going through at different times. Teaching at University of Tennessee to a 100% all white, you know, college class, and the what he had to deal with and put up with. But during the time we were growing up, I don't actively recall ever seeing my dad struggle. I don't even recall ever seeing any disagreements or him sharing with my mom challenges he was having at work. I think they had those discussions maybe, you know, behind closed doors in the bedroom type thing. But he was able to still instill in us, do your work, be who you are, don't let anybody push you over. And through doing that, it still kind of prepared us because, you know, up until I got to corporate America, I mean, I've been fortunate enough, a little bit different than I guess some average individuals that kind of, especially Chicagoans, you guys kind of stay in Chicago and rarely exit. But I've lived in 4 or 5 different states. I've never been in an all black community or really all white community until like maybe right at high school. So I've been exposed to a lot of different cultures. But when I got to corporate America and I was the only black man, I have about 150 men at a manufacturing plant, and I was doing reliability, and I'm responding to the vice president or reporting to the White House. Then it started to hit me, and I'm like, well, what is this craziness? I'm like, y'all, I did the job. Where's this coming from? My dad actually worked at the same place and had the same issue, but simply because of what he taught me, it hit me, but it didn't hurt me. So it was kind of weird. I never saw him struggle, but I saw his strength. So since I consistently saw his strength, then I didn't necessarily need to see that. And I don't know why he chose not to share it. I never heard about anything until after I was an adult. Then he'd be like, oh yeah, I remember I had this issue. I had that issue. So
well, I think we also have to respect the fact that errors often dictate our behavior. And so your dad's era was similar to my dad's era. And I think that they probably felt like they were protecting you by keeping those things from you. Whereas, you know, modern day thinking is I can't send my son out into these fights blindly. You know, he's got to understand what's waiting for him out there so that he knows how to defend against them and how to, you know, resist them. So I think some of it is era specific. I think they did what they were taught to do.
Yeah, definitely. My daughter hit 14. My wife and I stopped. We never really sugarcoated, but we definitely don't censor anything now in our household when we're talking. So she's fully aware of anything I'm dealing with, things I've been through, and you know, she sits and watches the news with me now. Sometimes
you don't want her getting no surprises.
No, she's not gonna get
while she's moving around without your covering.
Yeah.
You know, you have to prepare her for what she might encounter without mom and daddy's covering. You know, so Glenn, what did you have to share? I don't think you had.
Yeah, and I grew up in a all women household, which was interesting, but it gave me a different perspective too. And there's a lot of respect for women who have to raise sons to be men. Without
it was so hard to not crack a joke when you said that, Glenn. It was. I want you to respect the restraint that I
really.
Right. Yeah.
I do respect your restraint.
That was a layup, and
if you can only keep that restraint throughout the show, that would be wonderful.
I can't make any promise.
As I was saying, it was difficult because the perspective that I grew up from was very different. But I know my mother went through a lot in terms of having to work, having to go through some things. And she shared some things at work with me and the microaggressions, and you learned about them before they were called microaggressions, things like that. And I learned it into Rogers Point. I mean, I grew up corporate America. We called it Jackie Robinson complex when I worked at Leo Burnett, because you like either the only, or the first. The first.
You're gonna take all the lumps, for the ones coming behind you.
Yeah, and it's amazing because and this subject came up. Joe Rogan mentioned something the other day, and he called Corinne Pierre identity hire because he didn't like the job she was doing. And Roland Martin brought this up. He's like, it's okay to not like the job she's doing, but don't try to relate that with a code word saying she's African American, because there's plenty of people that look like him that were totally incompetent in jobs, but we didn't call them identity hires.
Right. Yeah. He just made another comment that was nothing but racism close.
Yeah. It's the whole, let's call it woke. Let's call it identity.
Right. Exactly.
Let's blame everything and kind of shove it into a coded word. That's the new, N-word, basically.
Right.
Is what it is. So, she taught me a lot about just corporate America. She taught me a lot about, people are going to BS you. That's going to happen. But you have to let them know you don't appreciate their BS. Yeah. They may get away with it, but you can let them know that they didn't get away with it.
Right.
That you recognize.
They may have pulled it off, but you were well aware of what they did.
You were well aware of it. And those are lessons that I took with me. Yeah. And, as my dad entered my life, I learned even more just about the difficulties of being a man. And we talked about that. We've had some really in-depth conversations of what would I do if I was my dad in that position? I probably would have done the same thing. So it made me respect him even more that he came back, he apologized, he talked about it. He's very open and honest. We have these conversations with all his kids that, mistakes were made, but he was young.
Yeah.
And I have to respect him for the man he became and grew into.
Sure.
And understand and put myself in his shoes, I would have done the same thing or probably worse.
Sure.
So there's so much to be learned, and it's not even just growing up in the household. If you talk to your dad now, if your dad's still alive, you talk to him now, there's so many lessons to be learned about transitioning into adulthood and transitioning into being a parent of adult children and trying to still instill that knowledge into them. So, I feel like I've learned so much from both parents in so many ways. And my mom's not here anymore, but my dad is I'm still getting lessons from him. I feel like every time I talk to him, it's something I learn.
Yeah. I lost both of my parents very young in my 20s, but I probably once a week, man, I have a moment where I wonder what my life would be like if I still had access to them. You know what I'm saying?
Me too. 8 years now come April, and I still
and
there's so many things I wish she was here for so I could tell her. There's so many great things to tell her about what I've done.
Right. And we won't unpack that, but you also bore the weight of taking care of her, which is a totally separate weight and journey that you have to navigate, and I applaud you for, doing what you were supposed to do, but that doesn't make it easy. No. Hey man, this is something that Mel actually brought to my attention or brought to me as a possible topic for the show.
I can be Mel. Let me find some snacks, something to chew on,
or just fall asleep during the show.
Oh,
You got to
Or
lean
you
in
got some food.
and say, you know what you
You got some food around or something.
and
well,
we
my
do.
wife plated my food earlier, so I'm actually quite full.
Did she plate it with a smile though?
Dude,
Yeah,
every
she
time
did. It tasted good. I felt the love.
Plated it with shard glass and razor blades.
Some thumbtacks.
And I told her, I said my feet were a little sore, so we're gonna get a little foot rub later on after this show's over. We'll work on that.
Hey man, sometimes we run into some issues because the truth is we are an all-male cast on the show. And so when we speak from experience, we speak from our experience with women. Mr. Facts, ain't that some bullshit?
So anyway, he done forgot my role in this show. He done forgot my role.
I thought he was a little slow on that button since he was on the show, but obviously
it caught me off guard.
That was
Hold on, matter of fact, let me move myself right up here next to him so I can look at him. What?
That was
What you got to say?
looking like this. That was quick too, Roger.
That was good.
And so with that said, we were talking about the fact that a lot of women, and I'm not attempting to speak for women, I am speaking to the way we often experience women.
In other words, Sean's not being a woman and speaking for men.
Right. But I'm also trying to cut down on the hate mail that we get as well.
Yeah.
But do you feel like
Keisha Rose?
do you feel like there are a lot of women that want to be married but don't want to be wives?
Ooh, you just trying to get in trouble, ain't you, boy?
Hey, you can blame Mel for this one. I get to blame Mel for this. But before you answer, I was unpacking it, myself, and a lot of women may not agree, but the truth is, earning the title of a wife is much more a badge of stature and status than husband. Husband signifies responsibility. I'm not saying that every husband is as responsible as he is supposed to be, but I'm saying that the role of husband implies responsibility more than it does you being celebrated, right? Whereas the role of wife comes with a badge. I mean, even down to the day of the wedding, they will tell you it's the bride's day. The husband.
Nobody ever asked to see my ring when I got married.
Right. You make sure you just show up. And so
I'm coming down the aisle and they throwing what can they throw? Old phone books out because we getting rid of those.
Cans of old English. They throwing cans of old English.
That I decided.
Sending you right to the emergency room when you're done. But so do you think that there is a big problem with that ultimately can create a disconnect or a skewed, perception of what marriage is supposed to look like, because you more want to, because let's be honest, to say that you are a wife says that you have been chosen, that somebody has chosen you to spend the rest of their life with them enough that they want to give you their last name. You know what I'm saying? Like it is a badge of honor and respect and value. Mm-hmm. Whereas husband is not really that, right?
Yeah.
Your badge of honor is if she says yes. That's.
Have you heard the song "To Be a Man" by Dax?
Mm-mm.
Listen to that.
I like that guy too. He has some really unique, interesting stuff.
Man, that song got like 150 million views already.
I may have heard it and just can't remember it right now, but
you got to remember, Sean, there's a root cause to this. Women expect men to be financially stable to date broke women with dependents. As a female friend of mine posted, I didn't post that, but she was like,
I've lived that thing more than once. So
yeah, I need to show you my income, my profit and loss statement while you trying to struggle to pay ComEd.
Right.
That fair.
I had
We
a
are
lady
not
I had a lady I was seeing tell me to my face I didn't make enough money to date her because she wanted to go to Dubai every 6 months. Meanwhile, I had loaned her money once and given her money twice. So that's how skewed, the mentality can be.
right.
Around
But women talk about men that aren't on their level, but they're not even playing in the same stadium for the men that they're trying to get.
Yeah.
You
Because I have a problem with level anyway.
Yeah.
Which is part
you
of
got, you got Major League Baseball dreams, and you playing in AA.
Right.
T-ball.
Yeah,
Right.
you playing T-ball.
Right.
Damn, Roger, T-ball. I was gonna give
You
them at least
know why I said
minor
T-ball?
league.
Because the ball keeps falling off of the tee, and they
Tee.
blaming everybody but them.
Yes,
They
I
don't know
know.
how to put it up there. They don't. Well, we'll get into
But
that.
how does that happen? Right. And I don't want you guys to get away from being able to share something about the initial subject matter, which is, the wanting to be a wife, but want to be married but not want to be a wife. But how does that happen? I mean, I have my own beliefs about how it happens, but
It happens because of what people see in online and in the media. And I hate to blame social media for everything, but it definitely played a part in some wild expectations for people who weren't really qualified.
yeah.
Like you want, you talk about marriage and you talk about being this great woman, and you can't quote the Bible and talk about what a man is supposed to do
Right.
when you're not even leveling up to being what the person he should provide for.
Right.
So you can't hide behind the Bible verses, women. I'm sorry.
Right.
You can't.
And what I want to talk about after this is such a perfect follow-up to what we're talking about. Robert, what are your thoughts and experiences with that? Do you find that there are women that are more led to want to be married than they want the badge of wife, be able to say that they're a wife, but they don't actually want to be a wife? And I know that wife can look a whole lot of different ways. It can look what is traditional for one person is not, traditional for another person. But
yeah, I think that, for me, I come from a different era when I was married, and I think the women, social media was popular, but I think the girlfriends were more popular. And when I say the girlfriends getting in the woman's ear to kind of tell her, this is what you should expect, from marriage. They not married, or
meanwhile, she going
There's
home.
your first problem right there.
She going home
Right.
to her rose every night.
Yeah, I mean, so I think that what happens is the girlfriends are telling her, he tells you to jump, and you ask him how high. It's those kind of things that we have to pull back and say, is this person really got my best interest at heart when they're trying to give me advice?
Well, here's the amazing thing. I think a lot of times, man, people give horrible advice from a very genuine place. They really think that they're looking
Right.
out for you, and they really think that they're giving you some valuable advice, but it's being delivered through a fractured mind that they don't understand is fractured. So,
well, I kind of think that.
Remember, not to cut you off, I remember being down south when I was a kid and hearing a man say, your woman don't think you love her if you don't hit her. You understand what I'm saying?
Right,
Which is,
yeah.
of course, the most ridiculous shit ever.
Right.
But he
Right.
honestly thought that was sound advice, on a lighter side. Think about
And unfortunately, there are women, though, Sean, that felt that too, though, because that's what they had experienced.
Absolutely.
So they're like, hit me, beat me, show me you love me.
Well, those people find each other. Their energies find each other, and until it gets beyond control, you don't really know that there's a problem with it or an issue. I think there's a real phenomenon of the fractured finding the fracture. Broken finding the broken. It happens.
I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter.
Yes, we know, Roger. I mean, Robert. Sorry, Roger. Robert.
Hey, I said we've been very restrained, Robert, while you were talking about marriage. You just take the win, dude.
Yeah, really, you should have just gone because everybody sat on their hands and didn't say nothing while you were talking. We let you have that one.
Let you have
Okay,
it.
all right.
We'll talk about Brent and Grace tonight.
Now, with that, Roger, did you get a chance to share it before I
Not really, but I mean, I think that the person that wants marriage but not a wife, wants to be married but not be a wife, nobody really knows until you've been married. You don't really know what that is, or you've seen it or had counseling, whatever. You don't really know what you're fully into until you're in it. But so that's not really big because nobody really knows.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of people do look more towards the marriage, just like I think TD said, most people look more towards the wedding than they do the actual marriage. And they don't realize that, I don't care how long you've been dating, I don't care if you've been living together for 10 years, when you actually get married, it does change.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to be ready for that. But for women, I don't know. And, I'm not sure because I didn't have that issue. I mean, I just didn't have that issue in my marriage.
You picked from the 10 proposals you had and
selected. I know he gave the rose out to the.
I told everybody the story.
Detroit, you win. Let me
tell you something. I tell everybody. I saw my wife at work, and the minute I saw her, I knew she was my wife, and that was pretty much a done deal.
Yeah, you've told that story.
Yeah. So, but I do think that the more emphasis is put on being married than actually being a wife. Being a husband and being a wife come with responsibilities.
Yeah.
Different responsibilities. They still come with responsibilities. And people have to understand that. But all that depends on you choosing the equally yoked mate for you. If both of you guys go out and party all the time, then that works for you.
Right.
But if you're home and she's still hanging out with the girls and going on the girls' trips to Jamaica and Aruba and all this other stuff, and you at home, and that's not what you do, that's a problem.
And we won't even talk about the fact, that's way too much to unpack. But, as women get older, if they haven't been married, then that is something that others wear or put on them as a challenge to their value.
Yeah.
Which to me, I think
you just touched the nerve, Sean.
I told you it was going to be one tonight.
But it's if they desire, if those individuals know that person has desired to be married, but didn't get married, or maybe had a marriage and it didn't work out, then there's that much more pressure and that their own self-value they're dealing with. But you're right, and I'm gonna be Sean for a minute. I think that's something that only women deal with, though. I think when a guy isn't married or doesn't get married, he don't have the issue. His boys aren't calling him a failure because he didn't get married. They probably celebrate. They're not telling him all this stuff.
His boys aren't, but his potential female dating potentials are.
Yeah.
They're looking at you like, what is wrong with you? Trust me, because I've never been married and I don't have any kids. People think I'm a serial killer.
But you know what, though? But I went through that same thing, but I think you control the narrative, and
as best you can. But like you said, you got the girlfriends in your ear.
Yeah.
I mean,
girl, what's wrong with him? How come?
Yeah.
Woo.
I didn't get married until I was like 30. So it's like when somebody asked me to 28, 25, 29, whatever it was, why aren't you married? I'm like, I haven't found the right one. When I find a wife, then I'll choose a wife. And I stand on that. I choose the wife.
Right.
Standing on business.
It has nothing to do with me.
Roger.
Say what?
You standing on business?
I'm standing on business. I choose the wife. Ain't nobody choose me.
But Sean is right. There's a trigger when you get to that age, and I've been asked everything from, am I gay, or do I just want to party? Do I want to date 17 women? And I was like, well, maybe at one time I did, but you know what?
You too picky. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, that too.
I'm sorry that I don't want to date someone that has a full beard. Forgive me.
Yeah, why can't you just settle for that woman?
Right. Buy some clippers and help her manage it and stop being so picky.
Exactly. There was always something wrong with me. And then I realized that, that's really something wrong with your ass. Because you keep talking about it so much. It ain't me at all. It's you. So, and you're listening to your girlfriends who haven't had a relationship since Clinton was president in the 90s. That's your problem right there, too. Because you're taking your advice. That's like taking life advice from a serial killer. You know, that's like Charles Manson counseling people on relationships and getting along with people. You know, the Menendez brothers counseling about family. That's the equivalent of that. You listening to people.
Menendez brothers hosting the family reunion. Huh?
Yeah. That's like, you know, I need to learn to stop lying. Let me ask Donald Trump.
But you know, let me ask you though: is that the person that listens to them? Is it because everybody does it and they're seeking the advice, or is that a weak-minded individual that can't decide for themselves what they want and say, no, you're lonely, you got issues, you're wrong?
I think they're weak-minded, and I think they're weak-minded in the sense that they don't want to boldly profess that they want something that other people think is flawed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They don't want that.
It could be a little of both.
Right.
But it's also your circle, though. I made sure that my circle includes single and married friends. Like, you know, I listen to Roger, you know, sometimes, except for the plate and food part. That's a little bit.
I was just about to solo him up there, too. Hey, you know what? You say it now, but let me tell you something. About 5 years, when you're like, that person walks in and says, "Can I plate your food?" and it hits you different.
Well, Glenn, I think I might be stuck, but I ain't want to be one of your single friends. Hell,
really?
I want to be one of your married friends.
You want to be one of my, and you will be one of my married friends one day. We putting that out there, Jesus. We putting it out there.
It's been put out there.
I got somebody
since the 90s. It is not going
Sean,
down.
I got something before you, but just give me a couple of days because we're gonna take care of something first before she see you, and then we got just 4 more laser treatments. That's all we got. 4 more laser treatments. You never know nothing. Now Sean ain't doing nothing about this. That's just normal. You know how sisters get down. I told you during the pandemic when the mask came off, just trim it up and line it up, and it'll be good. Don't be walking out here forgetting that you got that little. Don't be turning it on the corners like you do at home watching TV, playing with it. You know
that is mean, Roger. So you want me to be out at breakfast with my wife and she got scrambled eggs and a mustache? That's
not scrambled eggs.
You just handle your little card, you know.
All you need is that quick trim thing, though, Sean. You can knock that stubble out with a good sharp trimmer.
He said she just got 4 more laser treatments.
4 more laser treatments.
Just 4 more laser treatments. Should be good to go, bro.
But have you ever talked to a woman and you noticed that she got some hair growing?
Oh yeah.
One time, there's Memphis chick.
I just be scared that I'd be scared in my sleep she gonna do me like that.
No, but like, ain't you scared? Like when you kiss her, she gonna scratch you? Because you think about that stubble be sharp. You know your stubble is sharp when you grow it.
And if they don't handle it, they get that little green tone to it under the.
And women don't know how to handle like a beard. They don't know how to handle stubble.
Right.
They naturally do. So they stuff.
This conversation has really gone left.
So this is why when I go out on dates, Glenn,
he got the trimmer. You line them up, Robert. Robert, line them up.
Hold still, baby. Wait a minute. Let me go get the edge right here.
We're in trouble. We're in trouble.
We need a meeting. Robert said, before we leave, I need you to hit them lips and the spit.
Y'all in trouble. Beyonce producer said we need a meeting. Y'all in trouble.
So listen, I'm glad y'all laughing because now I can be mad for a minute. And I am not speaking for the group. I'm not speaking for the fellas.
Here come the disclaimers. Here we go.
Let's have
If Mel was here, I would encourage him to say the thoughts and opinions of Sean Mason.
The thoughts and opinions of Sean Mason do not reflect Independent Network Television or G Rose Productions.
Thank you.
Or anybody within any 10-mile radius of Sean Mason.
Right.
As a matter of fact, let me just put that out there too.
Dude, you know what I am sick of? I am sick of men. Now men can't even speak to a woman the correct way.
Oh, hell.
Like I have seen so many videos in the last 2 weeks, seen so many posts in the last 2 weeks. If another man texts me, what you doing?
Oh, I'm about to say, we can't say what up, girl, no more.
Hey, if another man texts me, good morning. If another man, I saw a couple of videos where, you know, you have the videos with the responses And what the woman is saying is clearly a man putting forth effort in terms of trying to get to know this woman and slow walk the process down. And everything that he does, you're not just gonna text me and we'll, like, what else is he supposed to do? Like, how is it that now men can't even try to engage? If you don't try, you lame because you didn't step up. If you get up in the morning, like me, I get up in the morning, I'm up at 6:30. I'm on a very strict, get ready, get out the door thing. If I think about you and want you to know that I thought about you, I can't say good morning, have a great day. Hope you have a great day. There was one little girl saying ick when I see a text that says have a great day or have a great week, ick, you're out of here. And I'm like, really? Like,
so you know what? So I don't think it's that. I think it is. I think they're looking for fantasy. And so what is normal conversation, like good morning, have a nice day, they don't see that because of movies, social media, whatever it is one of these, no, you need to come at me with a line I've never heard before. And you need to bring me.
And one of our, I won't say her name because I don't want to get into a debate, but one of our viewers just said, no, you got to be creative. And I'm like, why does it have to be an audition?
Well, you know what? It depends on what if it's truly an introduction. If it's like hello, good morning, I'm not gonna get creative with that. It's like, and also because I'm feeling you out. If you need more than just hey, how you doing, good morning, that's all you got. It's morning.
Well, the fact there's no value in the fact that in the midst of my morning process, I thought of you and wanted you to know that you were on my mind. I gotta figure out a way to have a parrot ring your doorbell and give you a note or something.
Sean, you was in the middle of shaving and you thought of her, and you were like,
you cut yourself and you like, I bet she don't have this problem with her whiskers. You tell her, hey girl, what you doing?
At the same time, baby.
No, you know what? You want me to bring you a line that you never heard before? Bring me a woman that I've never seen before.
But they have no responsibility. Like,
I'm sorry, but it works both ways. I'm sorry.
It really does. I just find that to be, you ain't gonna what you doing me to death. And I'm like, don't get me wrong. If that's all a dude is doing and he ain't making no effort to try to get you on the phone and have some conversations with you and get you out, I get that. But just the fact that now if a man says what you doing or good morning, that is somehow seen as some lame way of reaching out to a woman. I think it shows how fractured the whole dating scene is, which is why I said it's not gonna happen. Because I'm not getting ready to do the audition like that. I am more than willing to court and pursue and all that, but I shouldn't have to shuck and jive. We're adults. Let's meet in the middle with our mutual interest. I could be going, she ain't said good morning to me all week. She must not be interested, and going about my way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just gotten so out of hand, man. It's just
women are treating social media and email like you're at the bar approaching them. They want that same effort and that same energy and that same creative zest that you're supposed to have when you're meeting them at the club or wherever we meet women at you guys' age. That's they want that same creative energy. And I'm like,
Glenn, I don't want to cut you off. I'm sorry. We were just asked, do you guys want us to text you good morning every day if we're not in a relationship? See, that's kind of my point. Like, you got to start somewhere. We don't have to be in a relationship. We're trying to establish a mutual interest and a rhythm of communication. So I don't have relationship expectations of you.
Right.
But if
you can actually just wish me a good morning and it's okay. I can accept it. I'll receive that.
Hey, I was thinking about you.
I don't have relationship expectations of someone, especially when we're not in one. We're still vetting each other,
And we don't go posted it on Facebook. She just said good morning to me. What she means? She ain't come better than that. She could have said something like, "Good morning, you look handsome. You good morning, your beard."
On Facebook, you see posts. If this ninja texts me good morning one more time,
yeah,
like, okay, dude, I think you should.
You know what though? It may be that though. it may be the repetitiveness of it. It may be
That's
like,
what I'm
okay,
saying. He's not trying to move past that.
It's a repetitive.
I 100% get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Keisha posted something, and Keisha's always right. That's what she told me.
I'm glad that you.
Wait,
yeah.
let me read this. Keisha is always right.
Mhm.
Yeah, Keisha's always right. She said women don't bother about that if it's the man they really want them to text them good morning. Then they don't have a problem with good morning.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
They would be okay with the man they really want not even texting them.
Right. Exactly.
And I think that's true because I've never heard that.
Maybe we get somewhere.
I've never heard it either.
I've never heard that either. I've never had
and I'm actually about to come out.
I've never had anybody like.
I've got a response to all of my text messages.
Right. I'm
about to come out with a journal that we can do. These are the top things that you can say to a woman in the morning.
Yeah, it'd be a short list.
First one is
I
didn't say how long it was. I just said I'm coming out with the book.
But here's
a journal. Just a journal.
Here's what's
just
funny,
to say. Here's what you said. Grand Rising. That's one.
I'm okay with Grand Rising. I'm not a Grand Rising dude. So you say Grand Rising to me, I'm gonna say good morning back. But I'm not offended at your.
Because I feel like I gotta call you my Nubian princess.
Oh, we on the Serengeti? I never understood the Grand Rising.
I feel like I gotta come at you with something African.
Or the vibration. That's vibrating on the same.
I mean, now we wake up and all you wearing is dashiki, then it was Grand Rising.
Yeah,
but I think that
And I did not mean that the way it sounded.
And I hate to make
it depends on how the dashiki looks on her.
Or off of her. I hate to make it a gender.
Boy, y'all are on one tonight.
Your eyes just do something to me.
You're amazing in the
They look like Sudanese.
You gotta come up with some different stuff, man.
You gotta come up with some different stuff.
Well, the other thing too, man, is
mix it up.
You have to create a culture and rhythm to the way you communicate. It was a while back I was getting to know somebody, and I noticed that their response time to whenever I would reach out was real slow. Sometimes the next day when I would get a response. And I never made an issue of it. I just said, okay, this is the culture that you're creating. And of course, this is something that's going to play into whether or not I think it's wise to continue pursuing trying to get to know you. And as things were really, really fizzling out, as it was, clear we just probably weren't going to, align or whatever, it happened. And they said something like, sorry for the late response. And I said, very matter of factly, it's okay. I'm used to that with you. I'm accustomed to that with you. And they were clearly offended. I was just being honest. Like that's the normal culture of our communication. So I really didn't even expect to hear back from you because about 70% of the time I don't hear back from you. I wasn't saying it with malice. I was just saying it as a matter of factly. And so I'm like so I'm wrong now because I spoke truthfully to the culture of our communication. Right?
If you're sending Sean a message, women, we want you to respond in 24 hours. You have an SLA.
Right.
Yeah. We need a 24-hour response. Remember that. And if any of us ever sent you a message saying good morning, we actually meant good morning. We didn't mean we want to get with you. We want to get next to you. We wanted you to have a morning. We wanted you to have a morning that was good.
I know, right?
My wife knows if I say good morning, if I say hello, if I say what's on TV.
Hey, we got.
I look at her.
Right.
Maybe wake up. Our time has come.
Yeah,
right.
Sometimes good morning means he wishes you a morning that's good. That's what that means.
It's about to provide you.
Not anything else.
Hey,
a morning that's good.
Hello means though.
What, Robert?
Have you guys ever sent a morning message as opposed to a text, like a voice message?
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes
you know, if you do that.
Are you talking about pre-social media?
No, he's talking about you just memo on your phone.
You just take the memo on your phone, and then you.
Robert
can
was chiseling it out on the tablet.
Right,
Moses, give me the other side of that tablet. You got to send the message to Sarah.
He said, He said with Moses.
You know, Roger, I have a visual with that.
Moses like, wait a minute. I'm writing these commandments. I'm on number 9. Robert, like, no,
with that damn hammer and that damn concrete, trying to carve out this damn this G trips me up every time.
Moses was like, Robert, wait a minute. I'm on the 9th commandment. I'm almost done. No, man, give me that tablet right now. He's like, I ain't got but one more to go. No, come on.
Robert, get a typo. I need a new tablet. Somebody bring me another rock.
Yeah.
This chisel's
oh
dull.
my God.
Man, y'all got to be creative is all I'm saying. Just be creative.
I understand.
The lover of life says you got to be creative.
I don't mind being creative, man, but I'm not auditioning. We're two adult people with a mutual interest, and if you should be as creative as I'm being. I'll drive it. I'll drive it. I don't mind taking the lead, but again,
I'm be creative on the introduction. I mean, creativity later on, that's fine, but just hello, getting to know you, that's fine. Maybe after the second or third one, just to let them know who you are, your personality, what you do, type of thing. I mean, I've done some, just because of who I am, I've done some wild and different things when I was getting to know different people. But
I heard them alphas can be like that.
Well,
wild or different.
Yeah.
The different part for him, but
probably the different part. No, but it some women, and not all women, as I see the comments flooding here.
Oh, I know they hot.
They're a little hot. They're a little bit hot. It's not that all women want you to audition, but some of your sisters do, and you need to talk to them.
Yeah,
you need to talk to them because maybe I don't have time. Maybe I'm actually running to like a job, a meeting, or something else, and all I can give you is that good morning right then. Now, what I can do later is take you to a wonderful dinner, show you a wonderful time, be attentive, and give you a memorable date. But if you're going to hold it against me for the good morning, you never get to that part.
Glenn,
never get to that damn part.
Some women want you to audition for the right to be rejected by them.
I turned him down, girl. That man came talking to me crazy, talking about good morning.
Good morning. How are you? What the hell does that mean, girl? How are you? Girl, I don't know.
Look, after 3 weeks of his good mornings and offers to take me out to dinner, I finally decided I wasn't interested.
We get to reject people too these days. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, we've been doing that.
I mean,
we can.
Oh, hey, man, all the time. No.
Roger, all the time, Roger. You had that problem always.
Working all day, baby. Come on.
I'm just a poor, simple Southern boy. I wouldn't know anything about that.
And this is the last angry Sean moment of the.
For your last 2 minutes. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
I know, really. He's been angry for 58 minutes.
Right. Yeah. Right? And now he gonna stop.
Now he gonna get nice. Now
I'm always accused of being angry, but I'm usually not even angry. Ladies,
Anna should be grateful somebody communicate with you.
No, you didn't.
She's talking about the ladies. She's talking about the ladies, right, Anna? She's talking about the ladies.
I am shocked. I know
you're not talking about us. She's talking about the women.
Sweetheart.
For the ladies that say there are no good men, you have to own that a lot of these good men just aren't interested in you. So because they're not giving you attention, don't create Roger left. Don't create the narrative that there are none out there, because the good ones have assessed you and decided that you come with more than they're willing to deal with. And then you want to go and say, there ain't no good men out here. No, it's some great men out here. They just are looking for something different than what you're presenting.
Go back to your math class and look at the understanding of the common denominator.
Look at the Mendoza line in baseball.
But it's so that's such an out, for a woman who maybe doesn't want to own how she's presenting or own what about her might not be enticing to men, to just say, oh, there's no good men out here, when in fact there are great men out here, but you aren't presenting in the way that they're inspired by.
Yeah.
So
the thoughts and opinions of Sean Mason or Sean Mason's?
Sean Mason's.
Nah, those are Roger too. I agree 100%.
I think I agree.
If all the men are bad, baby, it's you.
It's you. Yeah.
You.
Hey, we had a whole sermon
It's
about
you.
this in church.
hey man,
If you're the common denominator in all the messed up relationships, then you're part of that problem.
Yeah.
I got a Facebook friend who probably posts something about men on the average 7 times every day. And outside of the horrible grammar, the perspective that she shares, every time I read it, I go, it's clear why you're by yourself.
Well, yeah, because you can't put a subject and verb together. Y'all is not good. It's not the woman I want to be with.
She must got rechargeable batteries in there, bro.
I mean, she can find another broken English speaking brother. It is her perspective.
She can find her equally yoked non-English speaking brother.
Textbook needing brother, but
you is the woman for me.
Hey, you is so. We got an
I
hour.
so
We got an hour.
love you.
Okay. This is the last appearance of Angry Sean for a while. I just had to get that off my chest. It's been
we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Until 2 weeks.
Yeah, he'll be back in 2 weeks.
Right.
We're gonna try to keep him calm for
I should have counted how many Facebook friends I had before we started, so I could see if the number was.
Watch your numbers go down.
Yeah, watch my numbers go down. Yeah. Anyway,
no, you're not.
No, you're not, Vanya. Get that attitude right, young lady.
Not at all.
Oh, not at all.
You said I was right earlier, Vanya. I screenshotted that. Vanya said Roger's right. Whoa.
I know that's an agreement. Yeah.
Hey man, love y'all. Miss you, Mel. 2 weeks, man. We'll be back one more again. Hopefully I'll have my camera fixed by then. I know I look like
April 6th. Set your DVRs now. We're gonna put out an 6 a.m. We're gonna put out an invite, right, Raj?
Yeah, did I create one already? If I didn't, I'll create one tomorrow. And everything. I did talk to our girl already, though. So she's gonna be on it and do that. A little bit haphazard, given everything going on. So we're good, man. I'm excited. I'm extremely excited.
And thank you all for your support in season 1. You made season 2 happen because of all your support, tuning into us at 4:30 in the morning, or if you DVR'd us, whatever you did, however you saw us, you saw us, and it mattered. So please
keep doing it.
April 6th. Yeah, don't stop it. Please tell people about it. WGN, 6 a.m., April 6th.
And don't be mad when we flood your timelines with our promos, because we want to get even more people.
Is anybody new in the comments that has not seen the show at all? Real quick, anybody? I think everybody I've seen this. All right, so I was going to play the trailer, but I won't.
What happens when you live in the city? I just heard about 7 gunshots.
Yeah. You should have moved your camera
to the women. That's the women you've been talking about.
Right. They're like, come on out, Sean. We know you in there. We know you in there.
They're just saying good night, Sean. That's all.
Like, we know where you live, Sean.
Hold on. The few people out of town, even though they can't see it, they wanted me to play. So I'm gonna play I'm just gonna play the highlight reel, the morning roast, and then I'm gonna play our outro. All right.
Come outside with your short ass.
Y'all have a good one. This is for you, TD.
Excited about this opportunity to spread our show and what we've been doing for the last 3 years to even more people, man.
I was excited to be part of this show. I would be even more excited if I didn't have to sit next to Glenn.
Yeah, and I'm gonna need something stronger in this cup if I gotta sit next to Mel.
So Glenn, what do you think about body count?
You know, I bought this jacket for the show. You like it?
Yeah, your berry colored jacket.
Thank you.
What's the body count on the jacket? Don't try to get away from the subject matter.